I'm 87 years old, and I've spent most of my life pretending grief was something you could step around, like a puddle on the sidewalk. I told myself if I didn't look down, if I kept walking, it wouldn't soak into me. I was wrong. It followed me anyway. I don't say this because I want comfort. At my age, comfort is a thin thing. I'm saying it because I don't have much time. I wake up before the sun because my body doesn't know how to sleep in anymore. The house feels larger than it used to, even though it hasn't changed. Or maybe I've just gotten smaller inside it. I sit at the kitchen table with my coffee and listen to the refrigerator hum, and sometimes I catch myself waiting for a sound that isn't coming. A voice, footsteps, someone asking if I slept well. They never do. At this age, you start to notice how often people say, "I'm sorry" to you. Sorry your wife passed. Sorry your friends are gone. Sorry you're alone. They mean well, but what they're really saying is, your life has become something I'm afraid of. Grief is everywhere now. It's in the empty chairs. It's in the names I don't hear spoken anymore. But it didn't start here. It didn't start when my hair turned white or my hands began to shake. It started much earlier, when I first learned how to avoid it. I was in my 20s when I figured that out. Back then, I was busy. That's the word people like to use. Busy sounds responsible. Busy sounds important. I had a job that asked a lot of me, and I gave it everything because that's what you were supposed to do. You worked hard, you didn't complain, you kept moving. My father died when I was 26. Heart attack. Quick, they said, as if that made it easier. I remember standing at the funeral, stiff in my suit, shaking hands with people I barely knew. They told me he would have been proud of me. I nodded. I didn't cry, not because I didn't love him, but because I didn't know how to stop and feel what I was feeling without falling apart. So I didn't. I went back to work 2 days later, told myself that was strength, told myself he wouldn't want me moping around. I folded my grief into a quiet corner and shut the door on it. I thought that's what adults did. My mother followed him 10 years later. Cancer. Slow this time. Watching someone fade is a different kind of pain, but I treated it the same way. I handled the arrangements, I made the calls, I did what needed to be done. People told me I was holding up so well. I believed them. In my 30s and 40s, life kept moving. Marriage, children, a house that always needed something fixed. There was always another responsibility waiting, another reason not to stop. When my wife lost her brother, I told her to stay strong. When a close friend moved away and then stopped calling, I shrugged it off. People drift, I said. That's life. What I didn't say was that every loss felt like a small tear inside me. Not enough to stop me, but enough to weaken something I didn't know I'd need later. Grief doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just sits quietly, waiting for you to slow down. I thought I was doing the right thing by keeping my head down. I was providing. I was dependable. I was the one who stayed steady when things went wrong. That became my identity, the reliable one, the strong one. But strength, when it's used to avoid feeling, turns into distance. I missed things, not in a dramatic way. I was there for birthdays and graduations. I sat in the audience, I clapped, but there were moments I wasn't really present for. Conversations I brushed past because I was tired. Questions my children asked that I answered too quickly or not at all. I told myself there would be more time. There always seemed to be more time. When my marriage began to feel strained, I didn't look at it too closely. I worked longer hours. I told myself it was just a phase. My wife tried to talk to me about feeling lonely, about feeling like she was losing me. I listened with half my attention and promised we'd talk more later. Later became never. She died suddenly when I was 58, a stroke. One day she was there, annoyed about the dishes in the sink. The next day, she was gone. No slow fade, no warning. People talk about shock, but what I felt was something colder, a hollow certainty that there were things I would never get the chance to say, conversations that expired. At the funeral, I did what I'd always done. I stood straight, I accepted condolences, I thanked people for coming. I didn't cry then either. I told myself I'd grieve later. Later didn't come. Instead, something hardened in me. I kept going because stopping felt dangerous. If I stopped, I might feel everything at once. So I stayed busy. I took on extra projects. I filled my evenings with noise. Television, radio, anything to keep the silence away. Grief doesn't disappear when you ignore it. It just changes shape. Years passed. The kids grew up and moved away. They called less often. I told myself that was normal too, that they had their own lives. I didn't ask for more because I didn't want to be a burden. I started to feel a low, constant ache, not sharp enough to name, but always there, like carrying a weight you've had so long you forget it isn't part of your body. Friends died, one by one, some from illness, some suddenly. Each time I went to the service, shook hands, went home, and carried on. People admired how well I handled loss. What they didn't see was how each death added another layer of quiet inside me. How my world kept shrinking, not because I chose it to, but because I never stopped to mourn what was leaving. The turning point came when I was 74. I remember the age clearly because it was the first time my body truly failed me. A fall in the bathroom, broken hip. Hospital rooms have a way of stripping you down, not just physically. Lying there, unable to move without help, I had time. Too much time. There were no distractions, no work to hide in, no one expecting anything from me except to heal. That's when it all came back. Not in one dramatic wave, but in pieces. My father's voice, my mother's hands, my wife's laugh, the one I hadn't heard in years. Regrets I'd kept sealed began to leak through the cracks. I cried alone in that hospital bed, quietly so the nurses wouldn't hear. I cried for people I hadn't allowed myself to miss. I cried for conversations I'd avoided. I cried for the man I thought I was being by staying strong. That was when I understood something I wish I'd known earlier. Grief doesn't care how busy you are. It doesn't respect your schedules or your coping strategies. It waits, patiently. After I came home, things were different. I was slower, more fragile. The world didn't ask as much of me anymore, and that scared me. Without the noise of responsibility, there was nowhere left to hide. I tried to talk to my children about it once. Not directly. I'm not good with direct things. I hinted at feeling lonely. They were kind, but uncomfortable. They told me to stay positive, to keep myself occupied. I didn't blame them. That's what I taught them, after all. Now, at 87, I see clearly what can't be fixed. I can't go back and sit longer at my wife's side. I can't hear my parents tell their stories again. I can't repair relationships that faded from neglect rather than anger. Time doesn't negotiate. What hurts the most isn't the losses themselves, it's the way I delayed acknowledging them, as if that gave me control. All it did was stretch the pain across a lifetime. If you're listening to this and you're younger than me, I won't tell you what to do. I don't believe in that anymore. All I can offer is what I've lived. Grief isn't a failure. It's a response to loving something that mattered. Avoiding it doesn't make you stronger, it just makes you quieter inside. There were moments in my life when stopping to feel would have cost me time, maybe even progress. I chose progress. I chose duty. I thought that was maturity. Now I understand that presence was the thing I kept postponing. These days, I let myself remember. Some days it hurts. Some days it feels like a relief. I talk out loud to people who aren't here. I say the things I never said. I don't know if it reaches them, but it changes something in me. I don't have many years left. That's not a dramatic statement, it's just math. I've made peace with that. What I'm still making peace with is the idea that a life can be full and still feel unfinished. If this meant something to you, if it stirred something you've been setting aside, I hope you don't wait as long as I did to sit with it. Not to fix it, just to acknowledge it. I'm 87 now. Grief never left me, but I've finally stopped running from it. And in that stillness, I've found something close to honesty. That's all I have left to give.